Hi everyone, it's Miss Panzika. I'm going to go ahead and read through this week's social studies article with you. It's Florida history in the 1930s about the Great Depression and the New Deal. Before we begin reading, let's flip over to the questions. We're going to go ahead and look through some key parts that we're going to look for that's going to help us answer. So question 1, what caused the economic downturn in Florida in the late 1920s? So we're looking for reasons that started this depression, okay? And it says use details from the article, so I need at least 2 details, okay? Number 2, what started the Great Depression? So you're going to look for the keyword started. Number 3, who was responsible for the New Deal? So you're going to look for a person's name. Now, these people are already mentioned in the article, but they have to be related to the New Deal. And then the 4th question, which New Deal program gave jobs to writers? So writers, those are people that are journalists or authors, okay? So we have our questions. Let's go ahead and begin reading. The Great Depression and the New Deal. So while I'm reading, I want you following along with me as well, okay? Although there was an economic boom in Florida during the early 1920s, the economy went downhill as the decade came to an end. 2 severe hurricanes damaged a large portion of South Florida. The first one hit the Miami and Fort Lauderdale areas in the middle of the night, which came as a surprise to many people, including tourists. So a little side note, back in the 1920s, they didn't have all the technology that we have nowadays. They didn't have radars or computers, so they didn't know when a hurricane was going to happen. It caught them by surprise. Okay, back to the article. Severe flooding and wind damage crippled the community. The second hurricane hit the Palm Beach area, which caused Lake Okeechobee to flood and drown over 2,000 people in nearby communities. So Lake Okeechobee, when you look at a map of Florida, you'll see this big blue spot towards the bottom of Florida. That's Lake Okeechobee. It's so large that you can see it from a satellite picture from space. Pretty cool. All right. And this right here is a caption that goes along with the picture. It says, a 1926 hurricane left boats on the streets of Miami. They're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be in the water. Okay. The next disaster occurred. So they already had 2 hurricanes. Now, another disaster occurred to Florida when there was an outbreak of the Mediterranean fruit fly in a grapefruit grove near Orlando. So fruit flies like to eat fruit. That's not a good thing. These insects quickly spread across the state and killed off most of the citrus crop. That's not good. Florida is known, and Florida people make their money from orange groves and grapefruits. And this is not happening. This is not good, because now if they are ruining the crops, the farmers aren't making money. Because of a quarantine, like we're in now, imposed on all remaining citrus, this was another blow to Florida's economy. So the economy is talking about the money that Florida makes. If they have already been hit by 2 hurricanes and now they can't sell their fruit, they're spending lots of money to fix damage and they're not making any money. This is not good for Florida. These 2 hurricanes, the crop destruction, and an attempt to recover from the previous wars, which was World War I, put a financial burden on Florida. So Florida hasn't even been affected. It hasn't even started with the Great Depression, and they're already being hit with 3 other disasters. So Florida starts the Great Depression already damaged.